Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, so this might seem a little random or just unexpected, but yeah, I felt like I needed to get a video out to you guys. I know it's been a while since we've been in contact, especially with the uh, the newsletters. I apologize. October just kind of got lost in the mix with things, but I do have it, and you'll actually find the link down below for that one, the Lost October newsletter, as well as the November newsletter, updating you guys with what's been going on the last 2 months. But yeah, I wanted to reach out via video, and I figured it'd be a good way to, um, yeah, show you that I'm still around, still doing stuff down here, and that I've changed a little bit with the beard. But then also like personally talk about a little bit about that later. Um, but yeah, no, I do apologize for having just not been very good with communication and being late with my newsletters. Um, there's a lot going on down here with retreats and just a lot of things going on with the community. Um, but yeah, no excuse. I promise keep in touch with you guys, and I can do better, and I will do better. So I just wanted to address that. But yeah, no, what's been happening down here? There's been a lot with SPO. I mean, jumping back to October, it it seems like months and months ago. But let's see, we had like a big Halloween party. Is what I can definitely remember. Is that we had a couple students put on this big party where we have this giant deck here at the men's house. It's a 3-story deck, um, and the whole thing was just filled with people in costume, and it was great. And we had like bobbing for apples and some like pie game, like just a bunch of different things set up for Halloween. It was really cool. Um, but yeah, and leading in November, November was a big month for us because that's when we had our Fan to Flame retreat, which is normally in usually January, February for most chapters. But this year we decided to do something different and try it out in the fall in November, and so that was a big like looming, not in a bad way, but like a big looming um, retreat for us, the biggest one of the year, and so a lot of time was spent putting that on. But what was cool about that is that it's mostly a student run retreat, specifically the talks and MCs and all that stuff. Us as missionaries, we have roles like more administrative things, just make sure things go smoothly. So we sit in the background, which is pretty cool to see from that and just watch the students go and just take it on and make it their own. But yeah, that was definitely a big retreat for us. And I'll talk a little bit about that and my experience with that in the November newsletter. Because I had a pretty cool experience with a guy. I led a small group. Um, and there's one guy in particular that, like, when he just shared his story, it just blew my mind. One, the realities of what he went through and growing up, and just like where he lived. And yeah, it was very humbling to hear that. And just to be there as like a brother to listen to him. It was pretty cool. And seeing where he's come from now, because it's continuing to grow. He's potentially looking to move into household next year, which is pretty sweet. Which I think would be really good for him, just because he's been searching for a brotherhood. Um, and yeah, so can't give too many details. Just I guess keep that private. But yeah, if you can pray for this guy, yeah, kind of ominous, but this guy in my small group, um, that yeah, he finds what he's looking for, be that here with SPO or just with his faith. But yeah, moving on to more like personal things. One of the things that I've been growing in this semester, it feels a lot longer than a semester in a good way, but would be my time management. In that, yeah, for me, the biggest thing is just like scheduling and like writing down and like blocking things out and just organizing. I did that bits and pieces, but like more than just having like one event a day. In that, like no, like your day is planned out. Um, and getting much more in detail. Uh, Not to the point that it's controlling, like my whole life is just organized, but like at the same time, it needs to have some of that structure too. And so it's been really cool seeing the growth in that, um, and just bettering myself in that way. But yeah, so I mean, as far as like challenges go, living in a house full of like 9 guys total, including me, 8 other guys. It's one, I've never lived in any sort of living situation with that many people, let alone 8 other guys. So that in itself is a big challenge, and just getting used to that and that kind of lifestyle. But obviously, you have 9 guys under one roof. Guys are going to start butting heads a little bit, and how to address that and do so in like a brotherly way, and not so much like a missionary, like authoritative. Yes, there's times where that needs to come into place, but also being able to like keep the peace. Um, and like, yeah, I guess for me coming into this, I always approach things as like from a brother approach, and that I don't know. Part of it's just that like I only graduated last May, and so coming into this, I still feel like a student. I mean, there's guys that are fifth year seniors and that we're the same age and we're living together, and so it's like, no, you're just like a brother to me, which is good. But one thing I've been learning is also how to like use or not how to like responsibly, properly use that missionary title. Again, not to use like in a negative way or negative authority, but like be like, no, like, speak into their lives, and work with them. And so that's been really good, especially working with the other two missionaries. I got two other guy missionaries living in the house with me, and they've been a huge blessing just because one of the guys lived 4 years in a household, a SPO household, so he's got a lot of experience that way. And then another guy, he was similar to me, and then he never lived in a household, but he was very heavily involved, and he's been involved. If you're familiar with NET, it's like it's essentially St. Paul's Outreach but for high school. And so, anyways, he had a lot of experience with that, and so that really helps too. And it's been cool to like bond with those guys and get to know each other in a personal way, but also like in a professional coworker way, which sounds weird to say because we don't feel like coworkers; we just feel like brothers living in a house together. Anyways, it's another thing that I've been really working on is my self-awareness and knowing. One big thing about myself is that the way my professor explained it to me is that I'm a very quick read of things, I guess, like events or like changes or whatever, and that I know how I feel about them right away. But the issue with that is I know how I feel about it and I know why I feel about it, but I tend to have struggle with explaining that why. And what I found that really works for me is writing down like what I'm thinking, like, and that helps to really like I guess like organize my thoughts. Yeah, I mean it's really the big thing. And so anyway, that's just like one way that I've found that I've grown in like understanding myself. And they're like, no, like I need to write things down. I need to like to organize myself, schedule wise, but also like my thoughts. Yeah, and it's just stuff that I never would have expected I would learn more about myself down here, which is pretty cool. And it's definitely been a humbling experience, working hard, and overcoming some challenges. But it's been good. It's been a really rewarding time down here. Another thing that's also had to do with overcoming these challenges is realizing that I can't do it alone. And that first and foremost, I need to rely on God. And in doing that, I've been working on my personal prayer, and doing that every day, and really trying to like use that because as my relationship with God, because it is my relationship with God and how I talk to Him and just how I let Him know how I'm doing and trying to hear Him and like what He wants, which has always been an interesting challenge for me because I the whole like, do you hear God audibly? Like, no, but there is ways that He speaks into my heart, and that He's done that, and I've felt it, and I've experienced that, and so yeah, it's been an interesting challenge. Personal prayer every day, that was definitely the big thing. So like behind me, right here, I have like a whiteboard calendar. So like every day I would check off. I'd literally write if I prayed or not. And now more recently, I've been looking to really simplify my prayer, and then go to the chapel or honestly just going for a walk or wherever I'm at, to just like be straight up with them. Just be like, this is where I'm at right now. That's what I'm dealing with. Or like, thank you for this or whatever. Just like being straight with them. And yeah, so that's been a really interesting part, that I've grown in a lot, and I'm still continuing to grow because it's a relationship with God that some days it's good, some days it's bad. And yeah, just gotta keep fighting through it and keep, just keep growing in that. So yeah, that's really all I got as of right now. I think I might try these out. I know I had mentioned to some of you that I was looking to get into like maybe some vlogging, specifically for like this time down here. Keep in touch with you all. Yeah, for now, one thing I guess I could ask of you guys is just for continued prayers. One, like not only for my ministry down here, like me, the work that I do down here, but also just for the students here. As of right now that I'm filming this, it's Wednesday, December 6th. this is the last week of classes for the students, and that next week will be the beginning of finals. And it's already starting to ramp up. The students are already having tests, not even final tests, but tests this week, and projects and papers and all that. And so, yeah, just prayers for them that they'll continue to persevere and to lean on each other. Like I said, like I can't do it myself, and neither can they. And like that's when we've been working on as brothers, like leaning on each other and being open with each other with where we're at with things. And then as well as for for me in my own discernment for the next upcoming year. Some of you might be aware, maybe not, that I am trying to decide on whether or not I do want to do another year of this campus ministry work. It's been a really great experience, but there's also things that are pulling me home, as well as maybe pulling me out of this, and that like maybe it's time to move on. But then there's also great things here, and so it's just there's a lot going on that I've been trying to just like not suppress, but like put them off until Christmas break, so I can really sit down and give them good thought and like be intentional about it. So, anyways, I don't know if I'm going to be here or if I'm going to do another year. I'm open to either one, and yeah, I just ask for prayers for that discernment. So, yeah. Anyways, I want to try and keep in touch with you guys for December. I'll be coming home to Minnesota December 15th. I'm going to try and get out like a Christmas card or some sort of letter out to you guys for the month of December. And yeah, maybe even connect with some of you when I come home. That'd be great. And so, yeah, it's been a wild ride so far, but look forward to keeping you guys updated with it, all that goes on for next semester. Take care. Talk to you soon.